Hi, in today's episode we work out where all the water's been going from the Mini. So a bit of backstory on this. The Mini was losing water a few months back. It was like one journey and it lost about half of its header tank worth of water. So checked for any leaks, couldn't see any leaks, any problems. Car was running absolutely fine, but obviously it had lost some water. So I topped it up, thought maybe I just haven't put the cap back on properly. Problem seemed to have gone away. What happened before is when you stop at junctions and things, you get a little wisp of steam coming out from the bonnet scoop. I thought, is that just water from the road hitting like the exhaust or something like that? It happened again recently, and I've been getting these wisps of steam coming up through the bonnet. Opened up the bonnet, water level's gone down again. Thought, well, that hasn't happened for a while. Again, topped up, looked for leaks, can't see anything. There's no puddles on the floor, there's nothing like that. So I'm starting to worry that maybe we're getting a leak into the engine, coolant going into the oil or something like that. And it's nearly every day. Just a half an hour's journey, I would be putting in about 100 mils of water, pretty much from minimum to max on the header tank. Eventually managed to catch it steaming and get the bonnet open and see where the steam is coming from, and it's coming down from the gearbox area. Here what you're looking at is the gear selectors, so this is just on top of the gearbox. You can see the corrugation of the gear selector levers, so in that area there's some steam coming out. Couldn't see anything pouring out, no drips, nothing like that. So something is leaking and causing steam on the hot gearbox. Ultimately what's happened is I managed to find it one day when following the steam. The hose that comes out of the left hand side or near side in the UK of the engine, and then sort of heads slightly forward over the gearbox and then forward to the radiator hose that travels down underneath the radiator and back up to the other side. So this pipe runs really close to the gearbox casing. And what has happened, I mean, the car's done 100,000 miles now, is over those 100,000 miles, the gearbox and the pipe have been making contact. And that has finally rubbed a little hole in the pipe. And I managed to get my hand in there. It's so dense inside the engine bay that you can't really get to it very well. But I did manage to just prise it open ever so slightly. I can see this tiny little pin squirt of water coming out of this pipe. And I was like, well, okay, that's clearly the problem. And now what I need to do was get replacement parts organised. In the meantime, because a few days until those parts came out, what I did was put some self-amalgamating tape around the water pipe so that it could be protected from further damage and plugged. That wasn't exactly a easy task. In order to get to the pipe, I mean, you can't really get to the pipe with a hand. You've got the air intake duct that goes just from behind the headlight up to the air cleaner. That's in your way. Plus you've got the water header tank itself. So in order to do this repair, I've taken off the water header tank. That's one bolt, and then it pivots out of the way, and there's a connection underneath that it sort of made a snapping sound for me, and as it moves around and it starts leaking water everywhere. So what I decided to do was just pull the locator tab out the back of that, and it disconnected from the water header tank. And then reaching down into the engine area above the gearbox where the water pipe's rubbing, really difficult to get my hands in there, let alone get a camera as well as my hands in there, so there isn't really any footage of that going on. So get the amalgamated tape and wrapping it around that pipe and moving the pipe left and right and forward and backwards just to try and get the tape around it. I mean, I got it on once and then it unravelled itself and had to put it on again, and it didn't really stay when I tied the end off, so I had to put a cable tie around it. It took me over an hour just to get it in, mainly because I couldn't get access and I needed the car the next day, so I wasn't prepared to start taking things apart to fix it. So I've been running the car for a few days now with the temporary repair on while I'm waiting for the pipe. Pleased to say that the water level has not gone down from maximum, it's stabilised, so I'm pretty confident that there are no other problems with the water system. It is just this hole that has been rubbed in the pipe, and potentially any other Minis out there of similar mileage, the R56 era, Gen 2 BMW Mini, might have the same problems with the water pipes being rubbed by the gearbox. Feeling it, it's sort of size of your fingertip. It's quite a big rubbed hole, but obviously the little penetration for the water to come out is quite small still. As I say, it was literally tiny little pinprick kind of water. So over half an hour, that's enough to lose 100 mil. I've got the part now from BMW Mini, I picked that up the other day, and I will be fitting that at the first opportunity. But the Mini has obviously been diverting my attention. I haven't done anything on the midget. I really wanted to just isolate that knocking noise. And with the changes in the lockdown laws and Christmas coming up, probably won't get much more done on that. And hopefully over the Christmas period, I will have spent some time on the midget and be able to get you some more of that. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you soon. Bye now.